Hello, viewers. Okay, look who's on the show today. It's Holly.
Hi.
We're in Korea. Holly has been in Korea for like 9 months.
9 months.
And it's great to catch up with her. I want to find out, what's been going on, but especially about makgeolli. Before we start talking about the makgeolli, why are you in Korea?
Why am I in Korea? So after a long career in healthcare, I decided to make a change and come to Korea to teach children English as a second language. I work for an English village, a large school. I'm teaching primarily 10 and 11-year-olds how to speak English, and I'm having a really, really good time. But I live in Daegu, which is a couple if you took the slow train, it's 4 hours away. On the KTX, it's a couple hours away, south of here, closer to Busan. I've been here for 9 months so far. Really enjoy it.
And I remember shortly before you left for Korea, you said, I'm going on an adventure.
Yes, it still is an adventure. It is, definitely. Some of the times, there have been a couple times that I've been feeling maybe overwhelmed or frustrated, but for the most part, I'm having a really good time, and I'm very, very glad that I came. I am. I'm really glad.
Well, good to hear.
Yes.
Good to hear. Okay. Well, let's get into the makgeolli questions.
Absolutely.
Let's find out what Holly has been doing related to makgeolli.
Okay. Okay.
That's what we're going to talk about today. Holly's makgeolli experiences.
So far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So welcome, Holly.
Thank you.
Thanks
Nice to be here.
Thanks for being in this episode. I'm so happy to see you again.
Oh, thank you.
And hope you've been having a good time in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you especially about brewing. So
Okay.
Have you done any brewing?
Okay. So far, I have not a lot. I did more before I moved here so far, but I did brew one batch in my dorm room. So I I found a gentleman who was selling peaches. I bought a bunch of peaches and I steamed the rice, made everything in the employee lounge, and then I actually brewed the makgeolli in my dorm room shortly after I got here. I wouldn't say it was my best batch, certainly. I had a routine at home in the States, when I had my kitchen, I had all my tools and everything. My brews generally are a little on the light side, fruity, fizzy. This one, I think I let it go too long. It was stronger than I like. I like kind of a lighter brew, and it wasn't very fizzy. I think it had gone too long, but I was sort of unsure. I wasn't watching it as much as I used to at my house. So it was, successful in that I did brew makgeolli, but I would not say that it was one of my favorite batches. It didn't have some of the Holly characteristics, I guess. Sweet and fruity and light and fizzy. It wasn't so much that. It was sort of heavy and strong and not one of my favorites, but it was a success as far as actually making it.
So was this and were the temperatures pretty warm?
I think about the same. It was probably about 70 degrees in my room,
okay,
60,
okay.
65, 70.
So pretty good
warm.
considering.
Yes. Yeah. That wasn't the problem. I don't know. It just not one of my best batches, and I thought that I would be able to maybe convince some of my co-teachers to get involved. Hey, do you want to watch me steam rice? I'm making makgeolli. Nothing. Anybody want to watch me bottle? I'm making makgeolli. Nothing. So anyway, it didn't catch on yet.
Well, okay, but
So anyway.
but yeah, you were there were other opportunities where people were brewing that you had to experience, right?
Yes. In March, there were a couple weeks in March where we didn't have any students at school. Actually, the last week of the school year and then the first week of the school year, nobody sent their students to my school. And so my school took the teachers on a cultural field trip, and we went to where a woman named Zhang Yihyang lived. She is the woman who wrote the first ever cookbook in hangul after it became the language of Korea. She's the first person to write a cookbook. And so we went to where she lived for a cultural day. We had some of the food that was in her cookbook, but we also had the opportunity to make makgeolli. They had it all set up for us. The main brewer guy taught everybody how to make it. We were all able to, basically the rice was all steamed when we got there, and they had all measured all the nuruk and everything out for us. So basically we all just got to play with the steamed rice, but we all were able to take a container of makgeolli home with us, which also, if you know me, I like fruity blends. I generally put fruit in my makgeolli. So this was very strong for me. But the other teachers did get involved in making it, and people came to me and asked about how do you bottle it, and I'm like, oh, I've got this straining bag, I can teach you how to use it. And so people, I think, because we went on the field trip, became more interested in makgeolli. And for me to say, oh, well, I've been brewing it now for a few years, I can do this and this and this. And also one of the teachers at my school found one of Jeff's videos, and
one of your videos.
Well, one of our videos, the one that we filmed,
yeah.
When the two of us were making peach makgeolli in Connecticut. One of my teachers here in Korea found. He's like, oh, I saw you on YouTube. It's like, uh-oh, really? So yes,
okay.
That was another opportunity for me to make makgeolli. I would like to get some good fruit and give it another whirl. But so far, those are really the only two I've made so far.
Wow. Now, one thing about the story of this first cookbook written in hangul,
yes,
the Umshuk Dimibang, that I think one of the things I really noticed about it, and from your story, the food recipes,
yes,
and the alcohol recipes is not really separated. They're both part of the cookbook. They're both equally important.
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
So I mean, and you just showed me some. I mean, the brewing lab they have there. They have lots of equipment.
Yes, they do, and they have some authentic, like really old equipment that was there on display.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they have modern bottling equipment, and things to measure how much alcohol is in the liquor, But yeah, they had some old strainers and some very old ongi that was on display.
Yeah.
It was very cool. Very cool. Yep.
And of course, distilling to make soju. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, that sounds great. So would you recommend that kind of trip to?
No, I would. It was very, very interesting. Very interesting. The one other thing that I did shortly after I got here, I've been here for about 9 months. I came in September of 2018. Shortly after I arrived here, I went to a makgeolli festival up in Ilsan, a little bit north of Seoul, either in October or November. I don't even remember when it was. But there were many, many people there. It was crazy mobbed. I couldn't find anyone who wants to go to a makgeolli festival. No one.
But there were thousands of strangers.
Yes. Yeah, it was crazy, and it was also
was it hard to get a sample?
Well, you had to wait in line, but it wasn't difficult. You were able to do it.
Were there any memorable brews? Were there a lot of like regular commercial brews?
They were commercial. They were commercial.
You had tasted those before?
Yeah, so, for the most part. And I bought a couple bottles to go home. What I thought was very cool was that it was really like a family festival. There were a lot of families. People brought blankets and they set things out, and tons of kids were running around, and they had food and they were eating.
Yeah.
It was a nice festival. Yeah.
Okay, well.
That's what I thought. Anyway.
Well, okay. So those sound like great highlights from your time in Korea, and I know you're going to experience a lot more fun things.
Yes.
And but we'll talk more about it.
Okay.
And
I look forward to it.
I'm really glad you were able to share this with our viewers today.
Oh, sure. Anytime.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.
Time. It's all good.
Yeah,
Okay.
cut that out, of course.